of this. But either way, we are getting ourselves into the game, so we can welcome in the live stream as well as you join us here in the commentary box, or in this case, a room of wonderful people, as we have DK versus C9. The winner of this full best of 3 will go straight into the winner's bracket to play a key arena here in Seattle in a few days' time, and they will be able to have the easier path to the grand finals as opposed to fighting out through the lower bracket.
I do want to just give a little bit of a asterisk to that DK stat that just popped up. The other time that DK faced against Cloud9 was when Cloud9 was speed gaming at d2g Columbus, and that was the grand finals where they took 2-1. So these two teams definitely have a very rich history together. And I'm going to just say that DK don't really like Cloud9, simply for the fact that they took that d2g Columbus. And this is a match not only for the main stage, it's also a very big grudge match.
Yeah. Hey, well, this is a different lineup, man. TZ now defeated on land in America.
There you go.
The story is real. So yeah, let's quickly go over our lane. So we thought Ice was going to go off lane. I was wondering if he'd have support from MMY as a Skywrath mage, but it looks like they're going to send him up towards the top lane to support Burning, who's farming up as the Naga. Mushi, no surprise whatsoever, Storm Spirit in the middle lane. And Lanham, he's actually got smoke already with sentry wards. It kind of feels like a bit of a like a bit of left column, a little bit of the other column's like, am I looking to jungle? I've got 3 clarity, so I assume so. But then he's also got smoke and sentry wards.
That smoke might actually use for the level 1 Roshan. You could actually solo level 1 Roshan as Enigma by yourself. We don't see that in pro games too often, because if you do exploit it, you could steal the Roshan, kill Enigma, and just, the table turns.
Is 3 clarities really enough to do that, though?
You're probably, if you are going to go for the Roshan strategy, you need to get a Medallion of Courage, and you need to get a Ring of Basilius. So
which means you can't do level 1.
Well, no, you definitely don't do level 1. You have to do like a level 5-ish, but you can solo it. But
yes.
Yeah, it's down the road.
Yeah, okay. You said level 1, I'm like, wow, really? I was just like, I've never seen a video of this one. Challenge now accepted for level 1 Roshan. But yeah. Lanes, as far as we look at them, Bone 7, the off lane. Burning's not really going to be able to do a hell of a lot to Bone 7, so it's really up to MMY to make sure he's the one that's adding pressure towards this Puck. But then again, Puck came up with a lot of consumables.
Yeah, Puck should be fine, especially that he's got an instantaneous level 2. Can't really zone him out as a solo range hero. The early important thing that we didn't talk about is that Cloud9 did not put wards in the Dire jungle, whereas DK did put wards in the Radiant jungle. And having the Radiant jungle free is actually a big part of AUI's jungling plan, because he really wants to tackle the big camps and then keep eating the big creeps.
It's actually going to be okay for him, however, because like the camps he's searching for, actually, have they
lane looks like we're going to see a proof coming in here. Mushi eats a Sunstrike as well, just a little bit of early game harass. But Sing Sing, once he gets that second meepo, in fact, he has chosen to not level the second meepo level 3.
Really?
I'm not a meepo master myself.
He went for the proof.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting, though. Like, maybe he's giving a little bit of respect over to the static realm, because there is one nice thing about Storm Spirit. He does have some AoE control. Like, when you're really tight together. And you start splitting up your meepos when you're looking for farm that way, it's not really going to be, yeah. But back to the jungle before we were talking about that. There's only one camp, technically, that doesn't spawn. It's this one right here. This is the only camp that doesn't spawn. And as far as the Doombringer goes, as long as he can still move between these small camps in the middle lane, there's no real problem for him. His jungle progression, obviously, he can't have like that extra one. Bone 7, oh, there's trouble up on the top lane. He's going to orb himself back underneath the range of the tower, but the last attack won't be enough. He'll salve up and get himself away from Burning and MMY.
Yep, and Burning is starting to run quite low in terms of mana, so it looks like we're not going to see a kill in the top lane for quite a while, unless Burning gets a quick clarity from his support or whatever.
Ice has been having a fun time in that bottom lane. He's managed to pick up 8 for 2. The DD runes helped him a little bit out in the last moment. But considering like you've got pull-throughs in from the side, I know a couple of those kills also were the camps when he came over and he tried to contest it. And with a PMS, like Pilot, his damage does nothing to Ice.
Yeah, it's just a byproduct of the fact that we have essentially 2-1-2 lanes with one jungler. The off lane's actually going to get quite a bit.
Oh, middle lane, there's your Earthbind, and now for the double proofs and the Sunstrike. Mushi, it's a lot of damage. One more hit. The Shadow Blast comes out from Doombringer. It comes from Aoi 2000.
I'm going to say that actually the kill going on the Doombringer is quite much bigger than going Sing Sing. Sing Sing's going to find his farm, no doubt about that. But your support jungle Doom getting that kill is going to accelerate him to, I guess, a Hand of Midas, if that's what he's looking for.
Well, what is he looking for here? Like, it kind of feels like he's probably going for Arcane Boots. So he just becomes like that supporter for the lane. Because Meepo is spamming out a hell of a lot in that mid lane at the very, very start. I'm pretty sure Sing's going to need some help there.
Yeah, also Aoi, very interestingly, solo smokes as a Doombringer. Not exactly... Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he's doing because...
He's got nothing to attack with. Like, he doesn't have level 6.
I think they're going to go for a secondary kill on the mid because Sunstrike as well as things like Net and Poof, they have very low cooldown. And it looks like they're going to make another go here on... Oh, well...
Bone 7's also up here as well. And it's going to be a regeneration rune. Mushi is going to actually deny the ball. Look at Sing. He's on the high ground. Earthbind 1, Sunstrike 2. Look for the blast. And it's coming from the Invoker. It's a perfect execution there from C9. The weird thing is, Mushi had to know that. But then again, where was he? He had to run north.
He had nowhere else to run.
Because Sing went up this way. Yep. He literally walked up through the middle lane and then just camped this top area.
I guess, I mean, he could have ran, like, you know, up to the top lane direction, but...
Yeah, to actually come up where, like, Lanham and MMY are currently smoked up. Because if you checked Puck, he would have realized the Puck had nothing. Like, Puck had no mana.
They're going to make yet another dive here. Well,
they're going to.
Doom's going to come in. He still has a creep. Sunstrike's going to come in, and it's going to be the kill. Tower is going to die as a result.
Dead. Sing's dead. MMY's in through the rear. Attacked him perfectly to make sure they get the kill. And Aoi 2000 out through the trees. Lanham, he's got Malefic's available, and they seal him up. The arrow flying in. Connects on MMY. But MMY has already picked up the double kill, getting that last attack off.
Meanwhile, Ice is giving the beatdown to Pylai. Pylai does not have leap anymore. And interestingly, Ice didn't go for the spin, would have done a ton of damage.
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to protect himself as well. Like, Pylai doesn't have leap, but if Eternal Envy turns around here, and he comes in and there's like a single arrow that connects on him, and he doesn't have spin available, like, that's going to be a massive problem for him, and could actually be his own death. And so far, he's been playing a really good off lane. He's 4.5 levels over on this Juggernaut. And that poor man's shield of his is still working overtime as he gets a rather late stick, 5 minutes 30. And maybe he's a little bit too far up as well. Eternal Envy, like, he's actually not even leveling up Cold Snap. I thought for a moment he might invoke. There we go. He's invoked Cold Snap now. Yeah.
I do want to point out Eternal Envy's skill or item builds here. Normally, when you see him play the Invoker, he always goes for the Hand of Might at first. In fact, he rushes it quite early without getting much regen. But this game, he's pulling a page out of Luo's playbook. This is Luo's Invoker build. Phase, quick orchids, and what he's looking to do. Oh, he might get ganked here.
What a bait! They use the healing ward to try and bait him up a little bit further. Eternal Envy, he's still on only Exort, and he's down. He's down for the count. Aoi 2000 though, as well as Sing are trying to search for another kill. Mushi, a good time to static Remnant inside the Roche pit.
They are preventing Mushi's level 6 very admirably. Look at Aoi, he's dropping a ward behind the tier 1 mid. Is Mushi ever gonna get this level 6?
He's trying to see up as well. Like, he's just throwing static Remnant up to static Remnant to make sure he can see. But Aoi is perfectly in perfect vision there. They need more help. Fortify as well, MMY, he can't kill Aoi from the low ground because Aoi still got 2 points scorched earth and the regeneration that came out from that Sada. They'll move up and Mushi goes on him. They're pulling him back in, but Earthbind, double proof, arrow as well. Mushi evaporates. Aoi 2000, one last Sada blast before he goes down, but giving a double kill over to Sing is well worth the sacrifice of the Doombringer.
Yeah, and the first kill actually happened before Aoi died, so Doombringer got the experience for that as well. My question is for DK, where are they getting really the trade? Because if you look at the top lane, Bone 7's still sitting there. He's already got level 6. Enigma's farms, alright, Enigma's farm is really the trade. He's almost got the mech finish, but they really need to do a lot with this mech to make all of this early game worth it. The score is really close, 5-4, but I can't help but feel that Cloud9 is really advantaged at this point in the game.
I'm wondering if that mech really does do anything. Like, when you consider how much area of effect damage you can pull out, I know we're not looking at high levels from the Mirana because only one level of Starfall, but you can have, okay, that's only 2 points Orb, 2 points Rift as well. Okay, I'm really underwhelmed by the attacking power of this
top lane. Looks like Mirana, he's trying to make a gank, but this Observer has actually scouted him out. The Psalm's going to use to initiate. Are they going to actually combo into, they have Ancient Seal. You got to get that off instantaneously. The Orb comes out. He's out of there trying to TP. The burst damage is way too high. DK gets a very important kill. Meanwhile, Pylai he's still scouted out. Alright, he leaps. Again,
Juggernaut had ulti then. He could have followed.
I think the cast range was too short to actually go down the cliff with that Omni Slash, but
if he started before Pylai jumped, and he had perfect vision, like,
yeah.
Pylai was literally, he had a ward on the tail of his Panther.
Well, that was a fairly important kill. As any kill at this point here, you just need experience for DK. They are a very experienced starved team right now. It looks like they're going to try to push a tier 1. Enigma putting a big part of that pushing power, but you got to keep in mind that Puck, one of the better tower defenders with his AoE nukes and that Dream Coil.
They're actually, with fortification being used, arrows coming in. Hit a nice little 5-second one there on Burning. But the healing ward is still there from Ti4, and this is what they're trying to really capitalize on, the fact that you can just keep pushing, and you don't lose any life for it. The trade-off is, however, Eternal Envy missed a 1 Forge Spirit because he's still short that 1 extra point up in Quas. Is adding a lot of damage towards the tier 1 tower and bottom lane. The mid tower is also taking a lot of fall, and Sing Sing, okay, that Sunstrike was able to connect on Mushi as he was walking back in towards the middle lane, but Sing Sing's got a DD rune. He feels so invincible right now. Now Earthbind, Mushi, he has his ultimate, but of course by zipping himself around, then he cannot keep the pressure up, and he has to back up and lose the tier 1 tower at the same time.
Yeah, earlier, Toby, you were asking, what does the mech really guarantee for DK? I think it guarantees just this. It's really hard to fight into DK. What is the initiation coming from Cloud9? They have the puck with a Dream Coil, but under the healing ward and the mech, there's just way too much healing.
Yeah.
It looks like DK's going to pull back right now, but they did a gigantic amount of damage to that tier 2. And the next time they push, it's going to be fairly easy.
I'd almost want to see a bit of a switch up right now, where you can have like the minions of the Invoker fight on the top lane. Because my major concern right there was the fact that no one from C9 could basically walk past this line to get anywhere near that tier 2 tower, and the rest of the minion army of DK was a little bit further up in the lane here. So you can't push it back except with Orb, and 3 points 3 points on the illusion Orb is not enough damage, and they need to buy time for Sing Sing. Sing Sing magic time for initiation is after he's finished Aghanims, which is 1200 gold away, and when he's got Bling Dagger. Now the smoke is breaking, and Pilot Eye, he's going to be the sacrificial lamb right now. He's caught it out inside the Radiant jungle, but it's better him than Aoi, Envy, or Sing Sing.
Or anybody else. I mean, it's actually like he's the least important kill, I think, for Cloud9.
Yeah.
So I think.
Sorry, I didn't get to include Blown 7 in the list of people.
Blown 7 will TP to the bottom lane. He is invis though, so and they didn't TP with. I'm not sure whether you want to fight into this. There again is mech and healing ward.
But with a Dream Call and with a fight, I reckon they could do this, man. 3-man Lanham, they got to make sure he cannot get this black hole off. Earthbind, and in comes Sing Sing. The extra poofs, and the, oh wow, that Mystic Flare doing some decent work, but not enough. Sing Sing getting spun down, and Mushi is able to drag back the Meepo, but they'll keep the fight going to Ti4 on the call snap. He's out of his immunity, so it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade-off, and Mushi going to TP himself away to safety here. This is almost the time when C9 had to add some pressure and finally bring down that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane to make these TPs worthwhile.
Yes, because you got to keep in mind that even though DK lost that fight, it's essentially 5v4, with the most important hero still farming up top, burning already at 3,300 gold. Once he gets to the Radiance, this becomes a totally different game. It becomes, can you pick off burning? And really, it's going to be difficult to do so. They also need to teleport and defend top, and you can see that Sing Sing is doing just that.
Yeah, it's the money he really needs now. They actually set him back. He lost about 400 or 500 gold by having that death. And not to mention all the time to farm. We'll end up denying that top tower as well.
Has been denied.
Sing Sing needs this last, actually what is now only like 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold and he gets his Aghanims upgrade.
Yep.
And that's going to be the first step. The second step is C9 being able to initiate without having to hope an arrow connects or have an invis rune on a puck. Once that happens, DK is going to be really, really cautious about things.
And we're going to see yet another push coming to the bottom lane. They still have Black Hole in reserve. Storm Spirit does have the tread, so actually Storm Spirit is
going
not
to be a
part of that
Moonlight Shadow for this fight, however. Like, Pilot Eye's about to crack level 6, so...
Well,
so they have detection with them? There's a sentry ward in the lane. All right.
I'm not sure if Moonlight Shadow could be used as a tool to initiate, because it's somewhat dangerous, like, especially if there is sentry wards down.
It'll be a very Heroes of New Earth thing to do. I remember when Fnatic first switched over from HON to Dota 2, they're always just like level 6 hits, and you just pop that. You walk in close and you just nail them.
They are it right now, and they're walking forward. Unfortunately, there is nothing to walk into.
No one there.
Yep.
In fact, they brought all 5 heroes down here. And they walk past sentry wards too, which means they're instantly revealed.
So normally when the game goes to where Naga Siren picks up the Radiance, the game becomes, alright, can you push out the wave, can you kill the Naga? I feel like this game, Cloud9 is actually quite equipped to do just that, because one of the game's best split pusher is Meepo. You could just blow up the wave quite easily. You can even blow up the Naga illusions, at least in the earlier portion of the game. At the same time, you also have Doom, one of the best late game farmers, at least in terms of accruing growth through his Midas, as well as Devour. So in terms of go input, they could pick him up. In terms of the split push, they could also keep it up. But the thing is, how do you break high ground for DK? I think DK is very well equipped going into long and late games, and they have the heroes and the towers.
The lineup from DK, like, for me, the breaking high ground is either going to come through decision making, which, by the way, up on top lane, burning decision to die, it's going to be high. Sunstrike, he managed to evade it too. I don't know if Sing Sing's gotten really enough damage to finish as he brought in the extra Meepo, and then to a second Earthbind. No proof left, and one more attack on burning. He was microing his other Meepo around the corner of the trees. He wanted to make sure he blocked him there. And now DK, well, they will take this bottom tower. There is nothing that will stop this push. So C9 just try and get the trade in the tier 1 on the top, but they won't be fast enough.
That was a key kill for Cloud9 in the sense that Burning already picked up the relic, it needs the Radiance, and Burning didn't.
This?
Well,
are they going to fight it?
I think they're going to try to hold as long as they can and maybe even cancel a couple of TPs, but tier 1's going to go down. And I think that, I'm not sure whether that's secure the T1 top. Glyph has already been used, but it's very hard to TP into this tower when there is a Meepo waiting for you with the possibility of an arrow hitting you as well. So it's essentially a tower trade, but the question is DK going to stop pushing the tier 2 bottom now?
They probably should. Meepo has Ags. Meepo's actually got to go back to base right now so he can pick up the Ag and him Scepter.
Looks like they will. So essentially it's a tower trade with Cloud9 picking off of Naga Siren. A big win for Cloud9.
Yeah, and the first Blink Dagger for Puck. This is the initiation I was waiting for from C9, and I'm really, really interested. The reason why I'm interested wait for it is because I want to see how DK handle it. You're going to have jumping heroes coming into you. You're building a BKB onto an Enigma, which is also interesting. And the fact that Storm Spirit, Mr. Treads First, has bought a point booster. Now, if Mushi really wants to go a Bloodstone on this, that's kind of okay, but I'm surprised he didn't go like Arcane Boost and decide to actually go through the Tread build instead.
Yeah.
Because this delays everything.
Maybe it was a judgment call. Like, he started thinking that he wants to go Orchid, so it's like, all right, let's finish Treads, and then thinking, oh, the game might go long, let's go Bloodstone instead. But yeah, very interesting way to build that particular item. I do believe the suggestion that you made about going Arcane first makes more sense. Definitely more efficient.
Yeah. Also a bit more standard.
Yeah.
But for now, DK going to back themselves up. I'm also not quite sure about DK giving them the space. Like, okay, C9's getting a lot of initiation abilities, but they're also like really efficiently farming. Like, you got a Hand of Midas, a 4-level Devour Doombringer. This guy just by himself, like, just give him 2 creeps every minute or so, and he's really good to farm. Sing Sing is actually being really defensive with his Meepos, keeping him in the tree line a hell of a lot, especially up here on the top lane. He's always had like this little gang squad next to the secret shop up on top, and then they come out and push when the creep wave gets far enough. But all of this is like it's really good split push farm. Invoker is able to do, well, whatever farm he wants to. He's going to farm up heroes later on. But all I'm thinking is right now is DK really being that efficient across the map while they wait for C9 to come?
Well, I think it's more so they kind of, this is the playstyle with the Naga Siren. You don't pick a Naga to go for a 20-minute push. You pick a Naga to extend the game to the 40, 50, 60-minute mark and win late. So I think I want to say this is what DK drafted for, and this is what DK's playing. So it makes sense that they're holding back. And it's not that they're passive about holding back. You see that they're constantly smoke ganking into the enemy jungle. In fact, Lamb, as well as the rest of his team, is stealing farm from the enemy jungle, which is exactly really what you want to do. Meanwhile, in Cloud9, they're not doing anything of that sort. So DK, if this keeps up, DK is going to have to go lead eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Bottom lane right now, they're going to see if they can force out the tier 2 tower. They've got some wards also that were originally meant to be aggressive wards, and now they're just keeping track of anything happening behind them. That Forge Spirit, did Envy just actually, he force-staffed his Forge Spirit to try and reach the healing ward, to try and get rid of it. This is their way of stopping the push of DK. But that healing ward really does some heavy work. Like, it's a level 3 healing ward as well. Now they smoke. They move back, they make an army conversion, and they smoke up. So they're looking for somebody on this bottom lane, but actually they can't. They must be going Roshan then. Yeah, they're headed towards the pit.
Look at the build coming out from Mushi. He's thinking about BKB. This is one of the most defensive Storm build I've ever seen in a professional game.
It can't be, can it?
I mean, again, something I brought up early in drafting stage, if you pick a Storm and you buy ultra defensive items like Lincoln Sphere and BKB, then maybe you just should not have picked a Storm. It's not his fight.
But it's really weird though, of his 2 choices, however. Like, Lincoln Sphere at least gives you regeneration, right? And it gives you some kind of immunity. But, okay, Sunstrike's going to scout the fact that Roshan's being done, but it's already too late. C9's too far away. They can't do anything about it. But it's the fact like he goes for the point booster, which is going to eventually get into a Bloodstone, but that'll take some time. And he's building into a BKB halfway through it all. And just to also reiterate, this will not be an Aghanim Scepter, because there is no point to it.
Right.
So, hey, I'm just thinking like there's more effective items which you could have been selecting. I'm wondering if that's also a mindset that Mushi is taking in this game, going, I need to tank up Doom. Maybe I just tank up Doom because they're going to target me anyway. So if I have Point Booster as well as Ogre Club, I should survive the full duration of Doom.
Yeah, I mean, to doom Mushi in the fight is nice if he doesn't have the Aegis, which he does. So maybe not doom him in the next coming fight. But you also have to doom the Nigma, because when Nigma comes in with BKB, Doom is really your only answer to break that black hole. So I feel like Bone 7, or excuse me, Aoi in this case, playing the Doom, he's going to have a lot of pressure on him to land that Doom on the proper target. I think dooming Naga, for example, just get that kill, prevent that song from coming out, is also key. Unfortunately, there's only one Doom to go around for 3 or 4 very key heroes to lock down.
For now. Considering the support Doombringer currently has higher net worth than the Juggernaut as well as the Storm Spirit, I'm just going to say he might be able to afford a refresher at some point.
Let's be honest, Aoi's actually the secret carry player for the team.
He's important, remember?
He buys wards sometimes.
He's been telling everyone at this lander pad, he's like, remember, I'm important. Look at the game, I'm important, all right?
All right, well, DK is be doing a little bit of nice dewarding in their own jungle. Just to go back on Mushi's item builds for a bit, I mean, maybe it actually would not even matter in the sense that this game is going to get dragged out for such a long time that, yes, he is going to finish his BKB, and he will finish his Bloodstone. As we see a kill here going against Mirana.
It was an illusion that finished off that Mirana.
Radiant's bottom
That's
tower
interesting in the sense that Mirana has sleep. Maybe Pylai just
left into the trees. He left into the trees.
And then died to the Radiance.
I have a feeling that there was some initial damage before that, because burning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's back at base right now. He wouldn't have TP'd out. But either way, I actually didn't even see that one at all. I'm wondering if our cameraman even saw that one.
Nobody saw it.
I mean, look over.
It didn't happen.
Obviously, Pylai doesn't mean as much as Aoi 2000.
He really doesn't. That's a really rough way to put it. As a hero, you mean?
Well, as a hero. It's like,
not as a person.
They're only wanting his arrow, man. They're only wanting his arrow. Bottom lane, Meepo's pinging out some potential here. Now, he's going to Invis Rune in, but at the same time, if he waited just a fraction of a second longer, he would have blew the smoke over on DK.
Well,
now, he wants to go burning. He does not want to go on this one. He's going to proof everybody in, but Naga through the sleep out. There were 3 Meepos coming in, but now Mushi is just like, all right, surprise! Coming out from the trees. Sing Sing thought he had a completely overrated burning, but he bit hook, line, and sinker.
They want to take the fight right now. Arrow's going to miss. It's not going to hit anything. There's 2 observers scouting the entrance of that jungle. Here comes Mushi. Is he going to go on the puck? No, it looks like not.
He's considering multiple targets right now, but no one from C9 is giving him a chance for it.
I'm very curious why Sing Sing decided to go in for that, because it's a very easy song TP for burning. There's no way you're going to burst him down. 1,000 health, but he made a play, immediate song, and he was dead.
Maybe he thought all of his Meepos had enough damage with poof.
Again,
Mushy, 5 seconds on the arrow, and they jump out a long way. Sunstrike's going to be there. The healing ward from Ice is making sure that Mushi is 100% alive. As the Forge Spirits try and chase it down again, but they're going to have to back it up.
The healing ward is actually very annoying in this upcoming team fights.
Especially when they're using it to scout out and what's going on. It's like the end of the healing was, it's like I walk up to Eternal Enemy and just mock you. Can't kill me during team fights. What hope do you think you have now? Man, Pilot is committing so much to kill off these illusions. He just arrowed a Naga illusion and still had trouble killing it. Level death had to be used by Aoi to finally remove it from the map. But Pilot lost like 2/3 of his life points for that. He's the man also trying to afford the mech for the team, of all people. So this support Doombringer inside the jungle refuses to actually go the mech. We have 2,000 gold, in fact, over on Aoi, with his Blink Dagger as well as his Hand Minus.
Top lane here, looks like Sing Sing's gonna get Black Hole. Mystic Flare's gonna come through as well. Sing Sing gonna be dead again. Now back to the point I mentioned earlier, Meeple's one of those heroes that can keep up in terms of split push should you not gank him. And there is a gank squad being led by Mushi. Like Storm Spirit will find you and will kill you. So I feel like Cloud9 going into this mid game is in a corner. They can't keep up with Burning's farm. They can't keep up with his map presence because Storm Spirit is really the other punch. You know, Storm Spirit is going to come in and just get a ton of ganks if Meeple decides to play the split push game next to Burning. So I wonder what Cloud9's game plan is. It feels like they don't really have an option.
It kind of feels at this point that their game plan is Meepo gets fat and we win. Like, with all the teams going how powerful Meepo is. Of course, they don't want to have the 4 case be real, whereas KDA is actually 4-4-4 across the board for Meepo. That's not a nice position to be in. But I think at the same time, C9's going to be sitting back there going, in the later portion of the game, Naga's a pain. Storm, Enigma, they're all going to be a bit more of a pain. But if you ever really farmed up Meepo, you've already got yourself a jungle hero who is running at the same level as most of the cores of DK, and with a good Doom, anything is possible. You've got an Invoker who has Orchid 4-staff and has almost completed BKB, so he's going to be standing pretty strong during the team fights. And you've got Bone 7, who's getting more and more initiation as well. He's got a Void Star at the moment. I don't know if this will be Yule Scepter or if he's trying to wait until he has a Scythe of Ice, but I'm pretty sure C9's they're going to back themselves in the later portion of this game. They know Naga's going to be an issue, but they might just have enough confidence that Meepo can deal with it.
Looks like they're going to blow up a Naga illusion. The entire Cloud9 team is thinking about smoke, but right now, the first priority is they need to push out all of the waves. You say that Meepo's farmed, but is he really farmed? Because if you look over the net worth, it's Burning that's leading the farm chart.
Yeah.
If you have a Meepo in a pro game, as we might see a gank going to the top 4 for the Meepo again, and he's not leading net worth by like 4,000 or 5,000 gold, it's actually a very underfarm and underlevel Meepo.
See, normally I'd be 100% with you on this one, but it's just the fact that C9's farm is just so spaced out that it's like normally you see greedy Meepos and everyone else is just straight behind them. But the fact you got a lot of farm over on an Invoker and you got a Doombringer right behind him, and the puck's also not too far behind.
Well, looks like they're going to go for Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Doom is going to come out. Ice, straight up dead. The Silence looks like going to reserve that Doom. They end up right next to that T2. The question is, can they actually bring it down? Cloud9 does have fairly decent push with those Forge Spirit as well as the Meepo.
Man, I love also too the fact that we've seen a lot of European teams have switched from this like Pack Wolf aura all the time aura creep into Doombringer and to actually turning him into Centaur.
Yeah, I mean it's a guarantee initiate, AoE initiate as well. We've seen a multiple stop throughout the tournament, and it looks like T2 is going to go down without a fight. Yeah, but these kind of victory against a Naga doesn't really mean much because eventually she is going to claim your tower as well.
Hey. I'm not subscribing to that one just yet. She's definitely going to claim Pilot Eye's life points multiple times during these games.
Eyes, you going to die?
He's just burning.
Oh my god, Eye's going to be dead!
He's had illusion after illusion focusing him down. Burning's realized the easiest way to farm is to look for the Mirana every single time. That's why for all net worth, I'm just counting the Mirana out of this game.
Yeah.
Like, she can't do anything apart from sit at range, throw an arrow, and give Moonlight Shadow to the team. That is literally the use of Pilot Eye right now.
Pilot Eye. What a player.
He's not important. I'm sorry, Pilot Eye. He's just no
longer
important.
As a hero, he's not important. As a person.
As a person, he's definitely important. But as a hero in this game, his job is to stay away from Naga Siren. Because the more times he keeps dying to Naga Siren, the easier it is for Burning. Like, he keeps finding easy money without having to quit his hero or put his team at risk. No black holes, and you're already making it a 4v5 engagement.
It's okay. Once Pi finishes the mech, hopefully he won't die as much.
Well, that'll help him, but unfortunately he's going to have a harder time because by the time he's finished mech, we're going to have Burning finishing up his heart. And then C9 killing off these illusions is going to take a long, long time. And Meepo? Okay. I was wondering to see how Sing Sing went for this one. If you go for hard, I remember who was I was talking to upstairs about this before, and I was looking at his Meepo, and he said Sing Sing basically goes 2 different ways. He'll start Aghanims, and then go Blink Dagger, and then he'll either go Scardy, or he'll go into hard Scythe of Ice.
Here comes multiple smokes.
They're going to move in completely opposite directions.
Yeah, but they're going to sneak into Roshan. This is so greedy and so risky. It looks like they're going to get away with it.
Look at Paladin.
The courier though. The courier is flying to the pit, and there's a war scouting it out. No, okay, it turns away. They're saying, why is this courier going AWOL?
It's like what? You want to come over towards Roshan? Then take us the Immortal off the back of the Meepo. Insurance is secured.
Okay.
Courier almost gives away the jig.
And looks like Cloud9's gonna get the Roshan for free. The other thing to actually mention is that Envy has gone for this particular build of 4-staff Orchid into BKB, but he has participated in like 0 fight, 1 fight, maybe defend the tower. I mean, if you want to play
he's still a 2-1-4, man. He's still a 2-1-4.
He is, but if you want to play the farm-esque Invoker that he is exhibiting in this particular game, a Hanamite has got to be much better, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm kind of with you on that one, but I think at the same time, Envy is realizing, and I don't know if it's because of like our non-Orchid game that we had from Clinks before, that when you get pressured like this with a Juggernaut, you need to come online a lot faster. So if you try and go into a hand of Midas here, you may just be delayed a little bit too long that you do nothing during the first towers, and that was what DK's like Juggernaut pick was all about. It was meant to have all the added towers down by 20 minutes. The healing ward was meant to be the enabler, Enigma was meant to be right behind it, Storm was getting pick-offs left, right, and center, Naga was split farming, and Skywrath Mage was just silencing and destroying everybody. That was the mental plan. And, well, Meepo, you've skipped the heart. He's actually just gone for Scythe of Ice.
I think the Scythe is, as we see, a 4-staff to kill them, that damn healing ward again, which they don't find.
I'm not so sure about the Scythe of Ice. I know it's for Mushi, though. And that's the primary person he's looking at.
It's Mushi or Lamb. I mean, anybody that you go in, or even a way to actually kill Burning, which before this, they really had no way. Unless you blink Doom and then follow up with just about everybody else.
Moonlight Shadow initiation. Now he's on his way up, but Storm Spirit just zips himself away to the ancient area. And Moonlight Shadow will be unsuccessful.
Cloud9 understands that if they play the game the same way they keep playing.
Sorry, I just... Earthbind on an illusion that was trying to farm up mud golems. Just the ultimate irony.
Yeah, Cloud9 needs to actually get ganks off to actually have a chance in this game, because should Naga get to do Naga-ing things, which Burning is doing for a long time, it's not going to be good. With that said, though, if you look at the Go graph, it's constantly going to Cloud9's way, so maybe it is the more efficient farming, the more spread out farming for Cloud9 that's a little bit better off for the game.
Well, it's about 4k gold. It's almost 7.5k experience. It's nice.
Now, a big part of that is from the Roshan that they snuck, as well as the tower lead that they do hold. And you gotta imagine these towers eventually will get taken by DK.
How annoying the DK is being. Like putting burning illusions in so they can block up camp, so Sing Sing's jungle progression is really slow. And also screws up Doom as well. I talk about these guys being really efficient as far as their farming goes. It's really difficult to get like efficient high levels up while you're basically having your camp being blocked up or pre-farmed up by Naga. Now Sing Sing's gonna be
Make it out.
Blanimus blink.
Oh no, he actually farmed with it. He needs to pull his Meepo to even have a chance to survive. Now he does have the Asians Immortal. The entire team comes in right now. AoE, he is looking for a Doom, but a quick retreat coming out from Lanham and the rest of the team, and they do back off.
Yeah. Sing Sing actually made two really quick and good plays after the poof. Like you said, he used the poof for the farming. I was like, okay, I'm in trouble here. Blinked himself away. At the same time, Enigma revealed for the first time his blink. So now C9 know that Enigma has a blink dagger with his BKB. But what he then did was like Mystic Flare came out, and as opposed to just walking himself through it, he turned himself around to make sure he walked through the smallest part of the Mystic Flare area. Yeah, Mushi, so close. Jumps, Pilot Eye. Well, job was to live, now he's going to die. Juggernaut, oh, yep. The leap actually pulls the Juggernaut further away from the rest of the team.
You know what, consider the fact that he baited out 10-second BKB from Mushi? Mission accomplished, question mark, for Pilot Eye?
Yeah.
If you're going to die, die for the greater good, right? I think taking a 10-second BKB is part of the greater good.
The downside is, though, Aoi did use his Doom as well.
Yes. Being attacked.
So,
Radiant structures have been
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, and maybe we venture into column C at some point.
The column C is your mid tower getting taken down, and that's exactly what Burning is doing right now. The tier 1 mid is essentially DK's.
Oh, Bone 7, blinked in, Dream Call, Aoi with a Hawk Stop, now Black Hole from Lanham. The kill's already happened, they're getting a revenge kill straight over towards the puck. Aoi's being dragged back up again. He still has his BKB to use, and now he goes, and Envy, as well as Meepo, they arrive on the scene. Sing Sing too low on one Meepo. The Aegis Immortal will trigger out. Aoi hiding in the Moonlight Shadow over in the trees where it's safe. Sing Sing's alive, all of Sing Sing is alive again. And he's just poofing himself away to safety. One Meepo blinks down, the rest of them follow. So technically a 1-for-1 on the trade, but now we see Enigma also jumping in using his 10-second BKB and Black Hole.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's Cloud9 favor in the sense that they only lost the Aegis, whereas DK lost real heroes. But, you know, I think all DK really want in this game is to extend the game and allow Burning to basically overpower Cloud.
See, I don't know if that's even possible. Like, I know he's getting bigger, and when he has Butterfly, yeah, it's going to be a big problem. But I'm still seeing too many useless heroes over on DK. Burning can't just be a one-man team here. I know that's meant to be like the whole thing of Naga, but at the same time, look at the net worth, man. The Enigma is the only one who's near the top, is in the top 6 apart from like Naga as well. And you got 4 heroes from C9 owning that. The Storm Spirit jumps in, and he's still just a BKB point booster.
Yeah.
That's all he's got.
The really downside of this build for Mushi, I mean, he's going to survive in the fights, which is great, but the downside is that he farms very slowly. You don't have the mana regen that an Orchid or Sci-Fi gives you, so you can't spam Remnants, for example. He is using a couple now, but it's 2.9 mana regen. That's just pitiful for a Storm. So he's going to really fall off, and as an initiator, he's going to die quite a bit because his mana pool is also pitiful during those fights. So I am with you there that the rest of the team is really not going to be able to back up Burning.
They're going to be food. They're just going to be food. And the primary thing I'm going to search for as well, nice nail from Bone7 on that mid tower. The Naga Illusions did finally claim it. The one thing I'm going to search for right now from C9 is single target focus. And then I'm going to look for Envy during the fights. They're going to identify the real Naga and kill her off straight away. So through side device, even if she builds a butterfly, the evasion is gone. You'll then have your Orchid, which will possibly also be that way. Okay, you kind of need to combine the two because she's obviously got mana style. So she can break free of the Orchid at least.
Not when she's doomed, right? Like, I mean, there's...
not when she's doomed. Like, you could throw everything you've got onto the Naga Siren, and just because of your net worth, you'll be able to find the rest of the DK lineup no matter what they've got, what they've really got.
Yeah, I think what you said is the key here. Basically, DK is playing a 4 protect 1 strategy. And as a Doombringer, as a Hex carrier, that's all you really want to face against. It doesn't matter when they have 20k gold net worth, when you just Doom or Hex and they're done. And speaking of Hexes, Meepo's got one. If you look over to Bone7, he's building on one. If you look at Envy, he's also building on one.
Doombringer's not.
And Doombringer's got eventually...
He's going Shivas, I think, at this point.
Yeah, a long roll down the line, he's going to have 2 Dooms, right? So we're looking at 2 Dooms, 3 Hexes. That's a lot of stuff to throw at Burning.
Yeah. Now, DK's making their way into the Radiant jungle, and with Naga Illusions already scouting out, Pilot Eye, job to survive. He just throws out a fishing arrow. Lanham just walks side by side with it. One good thing that C9 had finally done is put down this Observer Ward. Unfortunately, it's coming a little bit too late. I don't know if we're looking at it before, but we had warding from DK, and it was down here basically next to where the Doombringer is, and this one Observer Ward which is still standing next to the bottom river. Now, with this, we saw Ice. He was farming up these 2 camps down here. Freely farming it up, keeping the bottom lane pressure towards the tier 2 tower, and keeping C9's attention down on the bottom lane because of that. He actually made space just by farming and knew when to pull out. When they came to gank him, like, they've actually attempted twice to try and catch him out of the jungle. But he just backs up because he's got the early warning system of the vision.
Ironically, normally it's the Naga that's making space for the rest of the team. But Burning's the one that's farming his own jungle. I like them to actually reverse it, because Naga's much harder to gank with the Song. But maybe not this game. Since we had just had that Doom plus Hex discussion, maybe it's the Doom that, or maybe it's the Naga that really needs to get tucked away.
Do you see it? Yeah, he saw it at the last moment. They walked inside the pit, and Roshan was like literally 3 seconds away from spawning, and they walked out at the 2-second mark. At like 2.5 seconds, I saw the animation. So he's going to go, actually, finally I almost died to Naga Illusions again. Just 2 of them, just 2 illusions. But yeah, DK's inside the pit.
Yeah, it looks like the Aegis will get claimed for free.
The pings are coming out from Envy. He just pinged over the Dire Ancients though. He didn't ping Roshan. He can't invoke Sunstrike for another 2 seconds.
Okay, that's my question. I thought he...
Problem is, if he also invokes Sunstrike, he can't have his Meteorite, because it's going to push the Force Spirits to the side. It's too late. DK, they got Roshan, and that's going to go into the Storm Spirit. Who I think is now... Is he switching his build?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Seems like he's going back for a Hex.
Yeah.
Or either that, he's going to just go for the full Pino BKB Lincolns, like just ultra defensive, which... I mean, I guess you started the defensive build, might as well continue it.
Interesting, though, like, path to that build.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely unique, Mushi.
If you look at casual, the casual point booster, like, Storm just wants extra mana and extra health, right? So, in that sense, it's not bad. It's just not good, right? It's not an Orchid.
We'll just class it as a Mushiism.
Yeah.
Bone7 is still trying to force out this top lane. One Naga Illusion is stopping him from doing this. It's going to get really, really frustrating after a while. When you think as a hero you should be able to split push it out, but it's just becoming more and more difficult. The arrows are scouting out the Dire area. Now, they do see the Observer Ward for the Dire side. Pilot Eye after he dropped that Sentry Ward down the river. So they're at least restricting the vision here of DK while the farming continues. How is Singstay looking for his next item? We've got Blink, Axe, Scythe already up, and he's at 2,000 gold. I thought he'd have more, and in fact he does. There's a Reaver over on the Courier.
Yep.
So he could buy up, well, he just fly out the Reaver for now. Make sure he's still got buyback, but that Heart's going to be arriving pretty shortly. He's really fallen behind the Naga, so far behind the Naga.
Again, I think Meepo is one of those heroes, traditionally, you need to keep up and honestly be above the enemy core by a couple of thousand gold. And he's really falling behind. And if you look at the Go graph, again, it's tapering down. That's generally how all Naga games go. You could keep up with her for a while, but she's like an Energizer Bunny. She just does not stop.
The difference is, though, the experience graph just keeps getting higher and higher for C9.
The thing is, the experience graph is a little bit...
It's Pilot who's making the sacrifice.
Well,
he's a level 11 Mirana 39 minutes in with mech.
It's also Meepo. Meepo's one of those that get to level 25 insanely quickly thanks to his mechanic, right? But and if you look at him, he's 23 almost. The thing is, like, I'm not sure how much experience really favors Meepo and Cloud9. Like, sure, you have a 15k experience lead, but what are you really doing with that experience lead? They're just farming more creeps with it. And eventually, DK is going to get their level 16s and level 18s and 25, so I'm not sure for Cloud9 right now. And it looks like DK with that Aegis, they're feeling confident enough to start breaking tier 2s. And that's really where the game could go very wrong for Cloud9.
Yeah. And leaving some nice aggressive observer wards behind with their aggression. C9 just wants the tier 2 tower on the top. They brought all 5 heroes up here. It's like they want to try and force DK to fight with delayed TPs in. Because they can deal with DK one by one. C9 lineup is very good at that, but you've seen the way DK deal with that. They TP 3 heroes back inside the base, which means they can TP 2 the front lines.
Yep.
Without having to have the delay.
DK is essentially saying we're going to prioritize our defending our towers first because we know we can take your towers first eventually with Naga. And we're going to just stop your go and take by defending our tower.
0.7 just got an extra side for this fight. Yeah, the arrows are coming out from the tree line, and meteorites being used to push the lane out as well. When they leave a rather interesting observer ward up on this lane too, they're trying to see as deep into the DK lineup as possible without having to have their creep wave there all the time. Unfortunately, does someone have a gem?
Radiant's middle tower
Got D-water, that wasn't in range of the tower. Yeah, there's a gem on Skywrath.
Speaking of which, Pilot also has a gem. Not sure if he's the most ideal candidate for that gem, but you know.
I don't think he is.
He's got to feel important, right?
Is there someone else who can carry this? Does anyone have a slot? Pilot Eye's got 3 spare slots right now.
He's got a mech and a leap. He's fine.
he can give it to Eternal Envy. Eternal Envy has space. But then again, he needs to hold a TP scroll.
He does.
Which he currently does not have. Well, Boy Scout rules, Envy. You always meant to have yourself a scroll of town teleportation. On all times.
Is that really the Boy Scout rule?
That's the Dota Boy Scout rule.
Let's see.
Burning is now maxed. So Mark on the clocks, 41 and 23 seconds. Yeah. He has the butterfly. He has the butterfly up and running. And that's with a level 2 diffusal blade as well. So he is literally maxed. 41 minutes in.
Here's the thing though, if Cloud9 catches him out, he just straight up dies.
Yeah.
Doom Hexes, you know, it's really hard to call this game. It really comes down to execution. It's not like the Na'Vi versus the Alliance game where Alliance did give them the Naga. That game was very much so textbook. It was just a guaranteed Alliance victory 25 minutes onward. This game, there is so much initiation from Cloud9 that it really comes down to execution.
I'm wondering if DK even want to, like, initiate. Okay, so you're going to make up Burning. And you're still, ooh.
Okay, I think that's the kicker, right? You're saying, where's the damage coming in? That's the damage. Well, that's the damage.
Meepo is not going to be happy about this when he finally finishes his hard. Not to mention Aoi, not to mention all of the heroes for C9. The Aghanim, Scepter on the Enigma. We don't have 2, we just have 1 good one.
Aoi is the most important player right now for Cloud9.
Mushi
his job is to cancel the black hole.
That might be harder. Mushi could even give a Lincoln Sphere recipe or Lincoln Sphere protection to Lanham.
Maybe that's it. Maybe you just.
We have a
tank
support
Enigma.
We have a support Storm Spirit.
There you go.
Playing middle lane. Well, that'll be a nice way of doing it. And he did. So the Courier is actually waiting there. Because he needs the last part.
Yeah. The Ring of Health?
Yeah, he needs the Ring of Health. The hilarious thing is, too, DK, they only have buyback on 1 hero. It's the Naga Siren. Only hero who right now wears buyback. Pilot just lost half his life to Illusions again. Triggers the mech rather early.
He's got the mech, man. Don't worry about it.
But look at that. Like, there's no like Meepo right now has everyone back at base. He also didn't finish the heart. Sing Sing's changed his build here. He built the Reaver, has now picked up an ultimate orb.
Going for the Scotty. So the reason that you actually pick up the Reaver is that it's actually one of the most cost-efficient way to buff up all your other meeples. You don't have to finish the heart, because the heart, it gives you pure strength, and then it gives you the extra health, right? The extra health does not pass along to your other meeples, whereas the pure stats of the strength does pass along. So
having something like a vitality boost doesn't
doesn't do anything, whereas having the Reaver itself does a lot for the rest of your meeples. So he doesn't upgrade it. He's actually going to go right next to his next item, which is going to be Eye of Scotty.
Smart play. Smart play.
So smart.
DK is coming down the middle lane. They've almost got all 5 there. Mushi is the only one straggling in the back lines. Coming in as a Storm Spirit, who does have the full finished Lincoln Sphere. But they're just slowly whittling away down here at the towers. And C9, I'm wondering if Eternal Envy is going to get to a point where he considers getting like a Maelstrom into Bionya, just so he's able to like alacrity himself up and push out the lanes.
Yeah, maybe have to go for bots first to give himself that extra slot, and then go back into it.
Yeah, you're right about that. But what happens if you have... Actually, no, because DK split push is really... Like, you should see it coming from a long way away.
Yeah, and also, to be fair, he's going to be stuck inside his space for the next 20 minutes anyway, so maybe you don't need that teleport scroll.
Yeah. Get the items which help you deal with the Naga Siren. And if you do have someone, like, split pushing you out, just let Sing Sing deal with it. And he can sell his treads and go into the BTs.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is where the concern really comes in for Cloud9. Again, if you take a peek at that Go graph, it's constantly dropping. And that's because DK could farm in essentially all over the map. They're not farming their own jungle right now, which is actually surprising. DK is now going to go back at jungle. Essentially, you just farm every portion of the map. It doesn't matter if the enemy team has 5 Midases. You will outfarm them.
And Devour?
And Devour.
Oh, yeah, they've only got one of those Midases on their lineup. But they're still walking around with 3 sides of ice. I'm really thinking DK is petrified of going high ground. It's like, until they have like 3 cheeses and like, if only you could have like 2 Aegises, like, then you consider pushing high ground. It looks like Ice. He's actually going to build into a Maelstrom. So maybe when he also gets the sparkling up.
I mean, there's just no pressure for DK to end this game anytime soon, right? We could just actually sit here for like the next hour. Like, bring in the teas and pastry, because we're going to be here for a long while.
Especially the tea. It's the caster's best friend, man.
Pastry, not so much.
Yeah, pastry gets caught up in the chest.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's why I was feeling a little bit iffy yesterday. Sunstray scouting out Roshan, but it's a little bit off. It's another minute and a half until Roshan's going to spawn up. Oh, reading an analog clock. That's right, I was born in the 80s.
How is the 80s?
The 80s was fun.
Nice.
Meatloaf was awesome. I'm not talking about the food.
Yeah.
Just to establish that one.
I mean, since we do have a lot of time to talk about anything else, we can talk about the 80s and 90s.
Let's not, man. Let's not. Because most people who lived through that era don't remember that era. Kind of like the 60s. It's all a blur. I wasn't around the 60s. I'm not that old. Roshan's going to spawn up in about 1 minute time from now. And I want to see Sing Sing freely move out of his base at the moment. They need something to help him get out.
He actually can't. Storm is going to just find him and then set up a gank.
I'm wondering, too, if he should complete his Skadi before buyback is available for him. Because if he wants buyback, he's got to move out and like farm up another 2,000 gold. But he can buy almost his entire Skadi right now. He's going Manta.
Manta, huh.
He's going Manta. Well, is like this many Meepos not enough?
I mean, I guess it helps you counter push out.
Unless he's trying to break free of like what, Malif? No, that's only on your core Meepo anyway.
I mean, there's Ancient Seal that you could break out of, but again, yeah, I think it's just simply for the stats and the illusions. Having the extra mobility actually does not matter when you're stuck in your base.
Yeah.
This is actually a very curious choice.
Sunstrike just scouted out Roshan again, and now he's going to spawn out the second DK actually walk out of the pit. If someone goes in there right now, then they'll set it. But they're going to take some time before they check.
Yeah,
so
the waves of Naga illusion are just endless. So, how do you push out?
You can't. Hey, at least Pilot Eye is surviving a little bit longer. Well, until he misses arrow, then says mistakes are made. Run away, run away. Sing Sing's going to be back. Earthbind and a 4 Meepo proof to kill off 1 Naga illusion. And hey, would you believe it? Boom. Feeling good today, man.
Yeah, there's that Maelstrom.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and call to say that Cloud9 cannot win the game without having some immense chaos. Because if the game just goes in a very slow and steady pace, DK will outfarm. It doesn't matter that you're going up a high ground with 2 Dooms and 3 Hexes. When everybody, for example, have cheeses on the team, or they have double buybacks with bots, like with infinite gold, DK could do anything. So Cloud9 needs to create chaos. Where's the chaos creator?
The chaos creator is Roshan Pit. I'm pretty sure that's like the only chaos
if you could
creator.
get to the Roshan Pit, look at the Nagas in front of every wave.
Oh, it's difficult. Life is hard, man. DK are back inside the pit. This will be the second cheese to drop.
Yes.
And there's no one's going to get there in time. And actually even notice who are the ones that are forcing it out. Like the Sunstride's coming in, but it's Ice, your off laner and your 2 supports. Bernie's going to come in here. I don't know what he wants to be in here. He doesn't need, well actually he needs the experience, but he doesn't need the money. Burning is currently going, with Roshan going to go down now, at 786 gold per minute. His current gold is reaching 10,000. He's at 9.6k right now.
Not even the highest in the tournament, not impressed.
Give him time, man. His net worth is 38,000.
Actually,
he is a full 14,000 above that of the Meepo. I also want to say, man, I think the matches which I've cast so far, I think I have to be like the caster who's cast the most amount of Dota time as an average in a game.
Yeah, the long
Try and
games.
Calculate that one, K-pop.
Although the Vici Gaming did bring the average down a bit.
It's impossible. They don't actually give casters any kind of credit on that Dota. No. We have the meta style now completed over on Sing Sing. He's still got buyback. And he's sitting at himself 3,086 life points on himself. And then on all of his clones, it's 38 with a 3k. More fishing arrows.
They
actually, well, if only it had a little bit more distance on it, it would have reached Mushi. And Mushi, maybe now he'll finally finish this Bloodstone. 15 minutes in, man, he's got 3,000 gold.
15-minute Bloodstone, not exactly the
greatest thing you're searching for. But on the bright side, he wouldn't lose any charges right now with the rate this game's been going.
Yeah. Or gain any charges.
Yeah, that's true. Ice can finish his full Mjolnir as well. You'd have to sacrifice buyback for it. We get a Perseverance being purchased up from Burning. So Burning is spending his money. And I believe he'll drop the Mana Style? What are we looking at here? He's gonna
Maybe it's a 7 slot. Just have a Linken's on your courier.
Can you give yourself the Linken's protection, then you drop it
exactly,
down, you walk in?
Exactly. You give yourself.
It's a refresher.
Because you got to make more illusions, man.
Obviously. Wait, that doesn't work.
It actually does not work.
It doesn't work.
I'm not sure what that's about. Double song, I guess? Racks. They're basically looking to take multiple lanes at once, right? You could have Burning get a lot of attention mid, Song, and have his team take bot, I guess. And then you Song them again.
Maybe he's just trying to like buy things for his teammates, if that was only possible. More arrows coming out then. Pilot Eye, his job is that he's down in the trees, hiding inside the tree line on the bottom lane, just throwing out arrow after arrow, trying to find out where DK is. Like, he fired that arrow from like back here, man. Like back here on the bottom lane. He fired that arrow out. Like, even at max range, he wouldn't be able to reach the hill.
I think this is a very good time to give a shout out to all the support players in the world. Because when you sit through a game like this, especially as a Mirana, you just actually don't do anything.
He's not even 5,000
You can't
network.
do anything. Yeah, like you just like be like, well, you know,
I'm just here for the food.
I'm a space filler right now.
Oh, Sing Sing is the man. Just keeps taking all this farm as concussive shots fly out.
And
nice little space over 4. Wait, 8 points smoke. Are they coming out? Right now, there's 4 heroes from DK pushing the bottom, while Burning is continuously pushing out the mid lane. He's still got 6.5k gold. Where did his courier go?
It's on the left. It's on the tree mark over here on top. It has the refresh orb right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just hanging out.
What the hell is it doing up there? It's like on the only lane where there's not a single hero from DK there. Unless it's meant to be there for the BT movement. Right. Sing Sing's now finally... This is the furthest I've seen him venture out in the last 10 minutes. He's up a long, long way on the top lane. And now the Naga Illusion's going to come in and he'll be back again. Mushi keeps the pressure on the bottom lane as well. And, well, are we waiting? We're not going to count down the next Roshan timer. Please no. Enigma, he's at a point, though, he can buy almost his full...
Yeah,
he does. It's a full refresher orb. So we have an Aghanim's upgraded double black hole with a BKB protection blink dagger initiation.
Real talk for a bit.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if you're Doom. Right, so I think actually if you're Mushi, you pass a Lincoln charge over to Lamb.
Doom has double refresher as well now.
That's
we have double refresher Doom. We have double Enigma Black Hole. Welcome to the team fight, peoples. Envy is dying on top lane to Naga Illusions in the group wave. He has to get back and heal up.
Oh, he's straight up dead?
No. But he's not ready to fight on bottom lane. And this is the problem. Mushi, he goes in on Aoi 2000. The Sky Rider, there's your ultimate coming out from Lanham. Sing Sing's caught in this one too, but only one of his meepos. They're poofing out, looking for the Earthbind. The buyback came out from the Doombringer and into the front lines. Lanham is down. Mushi will be the next one. Cloud9, they've got two. You're right, they have to get back up on top, but there's still the Aegis Immortal. Envy, you have 140 line points, man. You should not be staying near Mushi, but up on top lane Burning, he's taken out the tier 3 tower, and the fortification will protect the melee ranks. And then Burning, he's songing, going in towards the mid. Pilot Sing Sing, and where is this black hole? It's on cooldown. He just walks into TP out because it bought time for the melee ranks to take some damage. The tier 3 tower, they're actually getting no objectives here. For the double song, they do not take an objective, and because you went for the melee ranks, it's gonna heal up to maximum before the next push by DK.
It's only a single song because the courier sold by the secret shop. The refresher has not been used yet, but that is the game plan that DK is gonna do. They're gonna push bottom and have Naga push top simultaneously as the heroes try to cut across and defend. The song's gonna come out. Sure, there's no objective being done right now, but that's because there is a glyph. There was a glyph being used on Cloud9.
How are you even meant to use this refresher?
Oh, in the jungle, looks like they're gonna find one. White's gonna die. Chaos has been created. Just a tiny wrinkle in time. Can there be anything done here by Cloud9? Can they just go down mid? Not if there's anything Burning can do.
They might feel pressured to do so. Now, there's a couple of... Naga Illusion is here and attacking the melee ranks on top. The funny thing is this one illusion can actually take out most of the creep wave that's about to spawn here. So Sing Sing had to leave a couple of meepos behind. Sing Sing's going to be the critical man to make sure that these lanes don't get pushed out. Well, you're actually making it more difficult by force-staffing the illusion to a different side. They could actually, maybe they can catch a Burning. They're pincering. It's a pincer movement.
Oh, come on.
We got Bone 7.
They have to run cross.
Where's the TP?
Okay.
He just used his he just used his mirror image. They're
Doom,
coming in.
Doom
Him up. Owie! That is an enemy. He level deaths him. Where is your Doom? Just use the damn thing. Burning, he is doomed up. Starfall as well. All damage out. Burning needs to go down right now. Leap up to Pilot and Doom. That level death. Welcome to the bonus.
Okay,
bottom lane though, DK's coming. They've got to get back. They've got to come back right now.
Do they all have TP? That's the question. Do they? Yeah, they all do. Okay, so it is time for Cloud9 to push out, force a buyback, and then do nothing.
Oh, Envy! Look how far out he is! And now Juggernaut slices and dices him, and Nice will lose his life for this one, but a worthwhile trade, even though it's now 2 for 1 on the board.
Oh, they're gonna find Mushi. Mushi's hex up right now. He has C cheese though, and looks like
Sing's coming. He's blinked on cooldown. Mushi comes out, and now, well, Earthbinds, the poofs aren't coming, and it's just a blink away by Bone 7.
But all of this is so good for DK because they don't even have to use a buyback on Naga. She's back in 30 seconds, and there's no way Cloud9 can push across the map in 30 seconds. So even though there was a mistake on DK's side, it's not punished. So Cloud9 is okay again. Palaido, he's getting some farm. He's like, baby, it's time for me to get into this game.
Wait, let's check his net worth here just to make sure it's all good. Okay, he's gone over 5k, 6.7k.
Yeah. It's not bad, man.
He's almost got as much as the Skywrath mage.
You know what I'm going to say? Palaido, be a man, and grab that Maelstrom. And just like, you know what? It's time to get some creeps.
Look at the net worth that we're burning. It's it's actually 44,000 net worth, basically, coming up on him. It's a good thing it still tallies what's over on the courier. His gold per minute is actually over 800 now. It's 804 gold per minute.
Can I take a moment to wax some poetic about Burning?
You can be as poetic as you want.
So Burning is the highest GPM player at Ti2. And the rate that he's going, he might be the highest GPM player at Ti4. Was the only player last year take a game off Alliance, which was undefeated until they got to the grand final, right, with his anti-mage. Often considered as the best carry player of all time in China. Legendary in every right, and this year and last year really kind of extended his player repertoire as a carry player, not just playing the standard hardcore carry like Naga and Anti-Mage, but really the tempo controllers, the pushers. He has really became the most iconic and arguably the most perfect carry player of all time, if we even go as far to say that. And you know, we can even keep going on and on, because Burning is extending the time for us to talk about him. Because this game is not going anywhere.
I think the secret is, honestly, Burning has himself in his own fantasy league.
Radiant's top barracks
That's-
is
Who
under
wouldn't
attack.
have burning in his own fantasy league?
This has to be the reason right now. If you're sitting there going with all your friends going, I've been having some real bad weeks in Fantasy League. Like, just look at Burning's numbers at the end of this one. This guy is walking at almost 1,000 CS. He's 869 CS. Hilariously for the Meepo, he's 505 right now.
Hold on though. Look at the fantasy point on Pylai Dai. He's keeping up with burning. I'm not sure how he's even doing that. Look at the 4.9 on healing. The mech buyer. Legit.
He's taking it for the team, man. Supports do get the respect according to fantasy points. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, that was the biggest excitement I've heard out of you in the last 20 minutes.
That's the only thing to be excited about. Pylai Dai's fantasy points.
Well, hey, I want to see Sing Sing buy his BTs finally, man. Because he's still walking around with treads. And he's got 6,000 gold on him. Now, our next Roshan is underway. Just want to point out too, where
Number 6.
This is number 6. That's the third cheese. All still belong to DK. Now, if we follow the rule of thumb of Sind, the team with the most cheeses wins. This is the rule of Cinder at least. So they already have 1 cheese. In fact, they dropped the cheese. They used the cheese. No, there's actually 2 cheeses over on the courier. And they passed 1 back over to Lanham. Now there is actually 2 cheeses.
They stack.
Yeah, they're stacked. I don't think they really wanted to stack it, but
Radiant's
now it is
bottom
stacked.
tower is being
I think
Now-
they're trying to keep it split, but unfortunately you need hero slots for that.
Keep in mind that cheese has a very long cooldown. I don't know the exact amount because I honestly have
40
never
seconds.
had cheese
It's
on
40
me.
seconds.
Okay, 40-second cooldown on cheeses. Honestly,
When was that even a problem?
exactly. No, there is some late game scenario, right? If you're getting bursted down and use cheese once,
You just try and throw it over to your carry hero. It's like, here, have another cheese. I can't use it.
there's a cooldown.
Paradise backing up. Look how quickly you went out there. Quickly, Observer Ward. Observer Ward. Midnight Pulse speaks to the tree line. Wait, have they got Gem?
Oh!
The jump out! He's out there. He got the Doom over on Lanham. The Doom Ringer's going to go down. The Enigma's going to go down straight away, and they move through the Skywrath Mage. A blink out by Aoi after Refresher Orb is used too.
Top. Gotta get back. Gotta defend. It does not matter. Envy, he's going the wrong way. He's going to the secret
No,
shop.
he's coming to kill.
Giant
He's coming to
barrier
kill
has
right now.
fallen.
Envy does not want to wait. Now the Dire
Radiant's top
Courier actually just got
barracks is under
sniped off.
attack.
It's the bottom lane.
Where's
Rose-
Envy going?
structures
Is he
have been
making Fort
fortified.
Spirit so his team would teleport? I am
Oh,
not sure.
He's wanting the Naga. He just thought the Naga Siren will fall back to farm up his own jungle. Envy he's not a man that wants to farm anymore. He's had enough. He doesn't like creeps anymore, and he wants to come out and find heroes.
Well, Naga's nowhere near, so.
Well, Naga is actually taking out the range racks on the top
Swing and a
back.
miss.
On the top racks.
Keep in mind that he actually needs to have Force Spirit because he need to create Force Spirit so his teammates could box in.
Owie, he is so deep in right now. He's still got Doom. He pops the Shiva's Guard and Juggernaut. I don't know if Ice was considering throwing out the ultimate then. Technically, can Ice kill off Owie 2000 with his damage output?
He does have 20x armor, so perhaps not.
Yeah.
But
Also, Owie now has 4.1k gold on this Doombringer.
look at Envy. He's
Right.
roaming. He's very close to burning. And burning has a gem. Might as well buy gems for your team. That's something you can do for
He's got haste
15,000 gold.
He's got a haste rune and ghost walk. And he's on a hunting mission but can't find anyone. He's put an this aggressive ward has been up here for almost its full duration for DK, for C9. It's like, wait, there has to be someone inside their own jungle.
I mean, this is the absolute correct play that you got to make, right? If you assume the enemy team is farming the entire map, you go
farm
for a
theirs.
gank. Yeah, well, you go for a gank in the jungle, and if you don't find it, farm their map.
He'll just BT back again anyway. Like, Envy can sell the 4 stuff and buy something else. Like, he can buy a damage dealing item and just go to town if he wants to. By the way, we have crossed over the hour mark. So remember, during games like this, people, remain hydrated.
Yes.
That's important. The C9 just continue to hold. Okay, now they got a chance here. They found Burning. Now the ward only just timed out, and Envy runs high, Burning runs low. He's coming around. That's the real Burning. That's the real Burning, but he's not coming close enough that's putting the Ghost Feet underneath Burning. And Burning moves pretty damn fast anyway. And what's this line being drawn out? It's being drawn by Meepo saying, yo guys, like, there's a problem on bottom lane.
Don't get Sing Sing start to draw in the game. Like,
It was only from the top to the bottom. Yeah. Now, Pylai Dai, where is your arrow of the century, man? 3 seconds until it comes off cooldown. And he's going to look for an opening. Now, there's a Dire Observer. There's never-ending battle for vision on the cliff. Oh, Lanham! He goes for Pylai Dai, the sacrificial lamb. Sing Sing comes out. He got the Hex over on Lanham, and now they jump in. What? The Skywrath Mage evaporates. They keep going on Lanham. The Doom controls him.
Ice!
He's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble right now, but Burning's up on the top. He's finishing the job on the melee racks. Bone 7 comes in. He gets a dream call over on Burning. They need to finish him off. They know which one he is. Unfortunately, the Yulsif is still on cooldown. The TP's coming in. The melee racks isn't down just yet. Burning back and range the Ti4 towers. Hawking it up. He's trying to retreat out. He doesn't know if the Sunstroke was coming in too. He's on the sidelines.
The melee Rex survives with 20 health. Okay, so the question is, again, what can Cloud9 do out of this? Because they just defended. But it doesn't matter, right?
They have to push mid and force some kind of buyback and then wait for the next engagement and have a huge ass cooldown timer. I'm also loving the googly balls of gems on the bottom lane the courier picks up.
Toby, I got bad news. Just look over to the buyback counter for you real fast. I mean, like all 10 player has buyback. It's just like I think DK is in it for really the long haul.
Oh wait, refresh drop can be picked off. Bone 7, the courier value. Blink up, blink up, blink up. It's more to the Hyperstone's over on here. He'll move up and see the courier. It's nighttime. He sees it. It's the orb. He's in the range. He's got it. It's down.
He might lose
7.2k net worth on the couriers on the sidelines. Envy's coming over. Mushi, Orchid actually helps trigger the Lincoln Sphere. Deafening blast a little bit too far away. Side of the Feist. Mushi's back up on the high ground. The steal's there, but in comes Sing Sing, and they evaporate the Skywrath. MMY. He has been sent packing, but he hasn't had time to actually write a postcard. Mushi on the way out. Turns around. He's hexed up. Bone's up, and he's going to get him. Mushi's down. We've got 2 buybacks. Skywrath and Naga back alive. The orbs are flying out. The Naga sleep. It caught out Aoi 2000. Doom off cooldown. 7 seconds. The arrow connected on Mushi. And now they look for Aoi. He got the hop stop. He stopped side in his tracks. The Doom off cooldown, but he's down before he can get it off. 100 seconds on the sideline for him. Bone 7 caught up in the middle lane. Mushi right behind it. Bone 7 can't get himself far enough away. The split push is starting to happen. DK, they bought back only 2 heroes and successfully defend C9. But the fact that they were defending C9 in the first place is a landmark moment.
However, though, they bought back on Burning. If you kill Burning once again, then he's gone. He's gone. So there is a path to victory now for Cloud9.
He's coming down mid too.
Cloud9 has to buy back as well. They have, again, 5 hexes, or 3 hexes and 2 dooms. So they can actually make this play. Priority number 1 is Burning. Kill him and go for the win.
Oh, look at Sing Sing. He's trying to get rid of these Naga illusions. They're all coming for the melee ranks now. There is no wave inside the base, so these illusions actually do little to nothing. And remember, Burning is really sad about it. He lost his refresher roll.
Yes.
So he can't just refresh and go back in again.
And looks like Cloud9 doesn't even need to buy back because there's not enough pressure coming out from DK.
Yeah, they brought their entire team in here, but the arrows are scouting out for him, almost playing a game of catch there.
I'm very surprised that DK is being this aggressive because if they lose Burning, they lose the game.
Just wait for next Roshan.
Or next
he's only a minute and a half away.
He's 4.5 minutes away from buyback.
Sing Sing's using his money to buy smoke for the couriers now. Okay, Envy, look at it. Meteorite's down. I'm also really interested to see why these illusions, they're splitting up. We've got Juggernaut illusions heading for the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane. We've got a creep wave coming in. Mushi also. He went on Envy. Now Lanham comes in. He's looking for the black hole, but he can't reach anybody. They have to start buying back here, Cloud9. They're going to lose too much map control. And now maybe Sing Sing to the front lines. He's got a Hex over on Ice, but Burning puts the sleep on. Now the melee racks is still up, the tier 3 towers as well. They're coming out a little bit further. Aoi 2000, he's going for Burning. He's out so far. Can he keep him in position? Now Sing to the black hole! And it perfectly for the tornado from Envy. It cancels the whole shebang. They've almost got MMY down. Now your black hole goes again. Lanham's pulling him in. Sing Sing, will he take out the arrow hits from Pylite Die? Most effective player in the game. Maybe now with a Juggernaut jump out. He's looking for the kill. The phase ship of Bone 7. He got out. Ice, he's still there in the middle lane. He didn't know. He didn't know at all. He still gets the lightning proc and will get the kill over on the puck. But the Naga Siren, she's still alive for now. Lanham's back as well after buying back. Roshan spawns up potentially in a grand total of a couple of seconds. Naga buys an assault.
Look at these illusions. They're going to the bot racks again. There's no push when you can't get out of your base.
Sing Sing got it. Sing Sing's got it, man.
Yeah, you got a meatball. You can actually push as well as defend, but they have spent multiple buybacks. There's no more buybacks left on the side of DK. Okay, there's one on Storm.
There's one on either side. One belongs to the Storm Spirit, one belongs to the Marana.
But this is the goal time if you're Cloud9 in the sense that there is no more buyback on Burning, and also Lamb essentially is not a hero because he doesn't have Black Hole. With that said though, Doom is dead for 40 seconds, he doesn't have buyback. Puck is dead for 40 seconds, he also doesn't have buyback. I think this is where Cloud9 really have to make a gigantic hold or they just lose.
Man, here it comes. Here it comes. Lanham to the front line. Now no black hole for this fight. He's just both for Mushi. Jumps on Pilot Eye. He was the bait here over. They got the BKB out as well as the spin from Ice. The mid melee racks. It's going to go down. There's too many on the sideline. The bottom tier 3 tower is also on the sideline too. Mushi hexed up. Eternal Envy trying to battle him out. Takes away at least 1/4 of his life points. But Ice still has Omni Slash. Lets it go. Sing. It's actually the Naga Sleeper stopping all the damage from Ice. But they want the bottom ranks. That's the reason why they're holding them here. Now they go for the top rank. Sing comes up again. They need a kill. They've got the Storm Spirit up in the air. Mushi holding himself away to safety. The melee racks almost gone. It's the Juggernaut Illusions which are killing it off. The bottom racks only has the ranged racks though. It's not full megas just yet. Up on top lane. Ice. Doomed up here by Aoi 2000. He's got Horfstomp but cannot reach up to Ice. Arrow it hits! Ice. No it didn't. It was too short. It was the cold snap that held him back. 2 minutes on the sidelines.
Apparently there's a Radiance drop somewhere on the ground.
What?
I don't know why, but it looks like it's dropped. I think for burning it, the illusions are coming in. They want the range racks. The range racks is about to go down. That Omega creep's going against Cloud9.
Rapier time for Envy.
There's only one direction. You gotta go forward, never look back, and go for the throne. That's 4 heroes you have to go through. That's 1 song you have to go through. Possibility of refresher song that you have to go through. I just don't know whether Cloud9 have enough time and damage.
Man, all they gotta do is pull up the britches, channel Steve Urkel, and just be a man. Go down the middle lane and try and bring down the tier 3 tower. They come as a 5-man pack. This isn't even a relaxing time to kill. They take tower, they take fortress. That is the goal of them right now. If they can kill off the Nagasara, they go for it.
Illusions are moving back and forth. Burning's passing between Icy, Radiance.
The jump in, Boat 7! He's inside the base! Muchi doesn't cracking him too. Sing bringing in the support. The Scarlet Mage ultimate. Really nice, already got maybe. No, doesn't get 1 kill, but Lanham! The whole! And got all of C9, almost the whole Cinchillada! And Lanham, now he goes down, Sing. Still making to survive this entire fight. Eternal Envy drops the Divine Rapier. It's on the deck right now.
He's in the other base!
He's looking for it. Where is he? He's going for the tier 4 towers, but the rest of his team, it's Mushi trying to repel C9, while Burning is going for the GG push. Howie's blinking himself away. Back inside the base. Burning, the couriers are sitting in with his Sakura. Sing, defense on the way in. Try and battle up against him. Burning, do they have enough? Howie's now returned to the fight too. Sing, alone Meepo. Maybe Burning can die here. Howie comes in. Hope Stomper, Sing's on the sideline. Burning, he's on 400, 500 life points. GG! There's no more defense. Howie, not important enough to hold out DK. The game is over. 70 minutes, and this is only game number 1 of the best of 3. Cloud9 versus DK. Winner wants their winner's bracket advantage in the main event in Key Arena for Ti4. Woo! Thoughts, Libby? Thoughts?
There's no thoughts. I think it's all well painted on the wall. Like, okay, right now at the end games graph, what Valve needs to do is also count the couriers that they own, because there's an AC that's unaccounted for. There is also a refresher unaccounted for. But I just love the fact that DK had the presence of mind to hold with 4 and then just have Burning TP in, because for a second there, it looks like Cloud9 was gonna take the fight. But I think we're done. We've spoken of. Let's actually send it back to James and on the table and have them dissect this game. What a game it is. Let's send it back.